welcome to Vic Sports Center. We are actually here working on a 622. This is actually the first place fall brawl boat that we are going to put a set of tracks down the side. So this particular boat came in with rails down the side, and we really like tracks just because, for a lot of different reasons. One of the main things is tracks are one of the one things in the whole marine industry that everybody's consistent. So whether it's a Burt's track, a Cisco track, a Trax Tech track, they're all the same size. So for us putting tracks down the side, all the rod holder companies, their rod holders will fit inside those tracks, okay? Today we are going to take these rails off. One other thing about the rails, if you look, and for the rails, we just have these two little screws holding this rail on. We could put rod holders right on this rail and it works out fine, but I think the tracks are definitely a stronger system. So a lot of times guys will actually put downriggers in them, everything. There's protrusion underneath here from Ranger. So we're going to use real short, heavy, coarse screws to put the new tracks on. So we're going to take a break for a second and we're going to grab these tracks and start putting them on. Okay, we're about ready to start mounting some track on this particular boat. One of the most important things is actually measuring everything out and saying, okay, this is how I want it, obviously, before you start drilling. So we're going to have a 12-inch track and then a 60-inch track. You want to make sure we have a cleat here. You want to make sure you have room to put rod holders in. You need about 4 inches to put rod holders in and out of the track. So we want to make sure we have 4 inches on each side of this particular track. All right, so we're going to set that one right there. Art's going to line it up, mark the holes. We definitely let Art do this because he's tall enough he can see over the side of the boat compared to me. I need a stool. So he's got it marked. And obviously we're going to match to the other side. There was a handrail down this, which you see the holes. We're going to drill first. We're going to backhone it next. Then we will fill these holes and fill these holes with silicone before we put this thing on.
So I use a smaller bit to get right in the middle. Got to watch it because there's wires in the. You don't want to go too deep.
Now, the reason he is backhoning each one of these is if you do not backhone and get through that clear coat and the gel coat, you will get cracks off each one of these holes. Absolutely. And if you don't do it, you will pay later. That's for sure. And I can tell you, Ranger glass is absolutely amazing. It takes a serious drill bit, serious pressure to drill these. The old days we used to use, with other boat lines, we used to use what was called a roto zip to actually cut dashes and things. Ranger glass is so strong that it won't even phase. A roto zip won't even phase a Ranger. It's amazing. So we're wiping it down with some acetone. You can see how they're all countersunk nice. Get all that powder out of there. So we are putting silicone on next in each one of these holes to fill them. A couple of dabs down the center. You don't want to get crazy with it. We're going to seal those two also. Because if you do, you'll hold that track off a little bit. But that silicone adhesive that we're using, I mean, I'm telling you, that stuff's so strong. You get a thin coat of that on it, and it will hold those tracks literally without the screws. It's pretty amazing stuff. It's an elastomeric sealer. and adhesive. Use short, coarse thread screws. I've seen guys mount them. They put so much silicone underneath them that the silicone comes out the edges. I try to keep it looking pristine. Got one more. Yeah, you can see those screws.
And then once it dries, I go back and peel that off.
Peel that
You
silicone
don't
off.
want to smear it. But once the silicone dries, it'll peel right off.
If you smear it, then it can make it harder for you to slide rod holders in the tracks. So that's basically how you get a track on the side of a Ranger. Turned out pretty nice.